Real strength isn't loud. It's built in silence. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to build real strength through silent power. We're going to delve into how high-value men can tap into silent power to command respect. And we're going to talk about how introverts have an advantage in this exact form of masculinity. If you truly know your own value, you don't need to advertise it to anyone. That is quiet strength. That is strength that introverts excel at. You hear the term high-value man a lot, especially in online forums and in conversations about dating. In simplest terms, high-value means that in the eyes of someone else, you fill a need they want fulfilled. So in dating, you might fill a niche that a particular woman wants in her partner. In business, you might fill a niche that a particular employer or customer wants in their business. This is all it means to be high value. The one person that you need to be high value to is yourself. Once you understand your own value to yourself, you will communicate high value to other people without ever having to say a word. And clearly, you can't be high value to everyone. You cannot fulfill every business need or every relationship need for every person out there. But there are a core group of traits that everyone holds as important and meaningful in men. By exemplifying these traits and building them in yourself, you can become a high value man. Interestingly, this is an area of masculinity where introverts have a clear advantage over extroverts. And we're going to talk about that. I want you to think about this really carefully. If you are truly of value, you don't have to announce it to anybody. If you see a gold brick laying on the ground, does anybody need to tell you it's valuable? You know it is. It's gold. It doesn't have to, you don't need a big sign that says this is valuable pointing to the brick. It's the same thing when you cultivate these characteristics in yourself. No one has to be told that you're high value. They'll just know it. They'll sense it. One of the core tenets I live by is if you have to tell me, it's probably not true. If you have to tell me about how prestigious your job is, you're not secure in who you are as a person. If you have to tell me how much money you earn as a way to boost yourself up, then the money isn't fulfilling what you need in life. If you have to walk around wearing fancy brands so that I know you can afford them, then you're covering up for an insecurity. If you have to tell me, it's probably not true. So what does it mean to have silent strength? To have that kind of presence that commands respect without saying a word? It means being able to maintain your composure under stressful situations. It means staying true to your values even when it's difficult, when they're challenged. It means projecting confidence without needing external validation, even in the face of being invalidated. Those are the actions that communicate silent strength to the world around you. But where does it come from? It comes from having a meaningful purpose in your life, something you're trying to accomplish that is worthwhile. It comes from having emotional control, understanding who you are, what you're about, and most importantly, it comes from having an unflinching and honest self-awareness. This is why introverts are so naturally good at this type of masculinity, because we possess qualities like being deep thinkers, having strong emotional intelligence, and being good listeners. Silent strength is about having that true self-confidence that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and not needing anyone else's approval. You know your values, you know your beliefs because you've examined them. You didn't just accept them without question. It's also about staying calm and grounded when things get chaotic. And as an introvert, again, you have a natural advantage here because you're already thoughtful and introspective. When the going gets tough, you think about what the right action is before you act instead of making stupid decisions rashly. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome who wrote the book Meditations. He's known as a leader who led with consideration and wisdom instead of brute force, intimidation, violence. This is the kind of leader that is remembered for centuries to come in a good way. And that is the kind of leader you want to be. So what are the key traits of a high-value man? Well, first, they're self-disciplined. You need to be in control of your emotions and control of your actions. You cannot be easily swayed, you cannot be easily pushed off course or deviated from your purpose. When you set your mind to something, you follow it through, even when it's difficult, especially when it's difficult. If it's easy, anybody could do it. It takes a high-value man to do things that are hard. Next comes emotional intelligence, and this is one a lot of men don't understand. A lot of men think that being masculine means not having emotions. That's not true. We all have emotions, there's no avoiding that. Having emotional intelligence means you understand your emotions and the emotions of others around you and know how to respond to them appropriately. If you do not have emotional intelligence, you get ruled by your emotions, and therefore you cannot have self-discipline. So you need to develop emotional intelligence so that you can react to your own emotions and prevent them from moving you off course or doing things that are foolish. Next comes purpose and integrity, knowing what you're doing and why it's important, and having the strength and the courage to follow through in the face of challenges. This can mean walking out of relationships, walking away from jobs and other opportunities that other people would jump at. But when you know what's important to you and you have the strength to follow that and not get pushed off course or tempted to other things because it's easier or more popular or less challenging, that's where you begin to exhibit true strength. And finally, being high value means setting strong boundaries. It means knowing when to say no and sticking to it. It means conserving your energy for the things that are important to you. Too often, we try to please people by saying yes to everything, even if we don't want to do it, even if it goes against our values. That's a lack of integrity. That's a lack of boundary setting. Very often, we're afraid to set boundaries because we're afraid that people aren't going to like us. You have to have the courage to be disliked. You have to sometimes say, this is what's important to me, and I'm sticking with it. Ultimately, you will be respected more for that. How do we cultivate these traits in ourselves? I always begin with mindfulness and meditation. The more aware you are of your own thoughts and your own emotions, the more in control you will be of your own reactions and your own choices in life. Next comes setting clear boundaries. And you need to understand how to do this properly because many people don't. Many people get upset when somebody violates their boundaries, but they didn't actually follow through. To put it very simply, you let the person know exactly what behavior you will not tolerate and what consequences they will receive for violating your boundaries. And this has to be something that you are absolutely committed to following through on. People will test your boundaries and they will see if you're willing to follow through. Most of the time, people are not. When you follow through on your boundaries, it only takes 1 or 2 times, people will begin to respect your boundaries. So if you tell somebody, I'm going to walk away if you bring up this topic, you need to walk away when they bring up that topic. If you tell your boss, I'm not going to answer my phone if you call me on the weekends, then do not answer that call on the weekends. Set the clear boundaries, set the clear expectations, and follow through. Even when you're tempted not to, even when you're full of fear that something's going to go wrong, that it's going to blow up in your face, it's going to backfire on you. You still have to follow through. Next, you have to develop a sense of purpose. Purpose is something that is important to you, but outside of you, that makes the world better for other people. When you have a true purpose, something that it will really drive you, even when things are challenging, even when you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to put in the effort, you will still do it because you know it's that important. And you have to stand firm in your values. You have to know what's important to you and why. And don't let other people dictate your beliefs or your priorities. Many of us grew up being told this is true, you must believe this is right, this is wrong. But a lot of times, we haven't actually considered whether we actually believe those. And this is why we end up doing things that we feel guilty about, because we don't align with those actual values. Very often we adopt the beliefs we were given growing up without questioning them. Now is the time to question them. Does this belief or that belief really resonate with you? Or do you have 2 beliefs that counteract each other? Well, which one do you choose? Because if there are counteracting beliefs, you have to decide which one, and then you have to stick to it. And all this isn't going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work. In fact, it's a never-ending process. You need to devote yourself to constant self-improvement. The only person that you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday and ask, are you better today? Am I a little bit better than I was yesterday? Did I do one thing yesterday that I can improve on today? What can I do right now to be a little better than I used to be? Being a high-value man doesn't mean that you have to be loud or the center of attention. Having integrity and being deeply introspective, those are qualities that really make a high-value man. When you can be grounded in who you are and unquestioning in what's important to you and unyielding in following through on your purpose and sticking to your boundaries, those are the qualities of a high-value man. And developing these qualities means leaning into your introverted strengths. You're already thoughtful and introspective. So apply that thoughtfulness and introspection to understanding what your values are, to defining your own purpose in life, towards setting boundaries that work for you. And developing your relationships with people, choosing the people that are meaningful to you, and devoting your time to listening to them, to developing and understanding your own emotional intelligence. Cultivating all these qualities is in the natural realm of introversion. If you're ready to level up and become the best version of yourself, the man you were meant to be, consider one-on-one coaching. There's a link in the description down below where you can book a free consultation with me to see if coaching is a good fit for you. If you really want to become the man you were meant to be and become the best expression of yourself, you owe it to yourself to find out. So click the link below and we'll talk soon. And after you click that link, check out the next video. I'm sure you'll find more information there.